Hey yo, welcome back to another video here with your boy Damien, also known as Dame Jungle. If you're new to the channel, my goal here is to encourage you and to provide you a little bit of confidence to get started on chasing those dreams, baby. Today we'll be talking about the law of detachment and why it's important. It teaches us to let go of the need to control everything. It teaches us to embrace uncertainty, and it teaches us to really focus on the present moment, because the present moment is all we really have. Let me give you a few reasons as to why attachment itself is not a good thing for you spiritually, and why it might stunt your personal and emotional development. In Buddhism, they say the root of all suffering is attachment. It's because most of us are attached to the way we think things should actually be. Let me say that again. Let me try to rephrase that. So we are attached to the way we think things should be. I might have said it the exact same way. When our expectations don't meet reality, or vice versa, our reality doesn't meet our expectations, it leads to disappointment and just suffering. We could be attached to people, we could be attached to success, and we could be attached to our identities. When you're attached to a person, you believe that they will never change and they'll always be there for you. With success, you're always going to be expecting to move linearly without any setbacks. And with our identities, we're scared to change because you think that any change would kind of threaten our idea of who we think we are. Number two, we got the loss of personal freedom. You give away all your power. Your happiness depends on somebody else's actions. You have no control of your emotional well-being because it's very dependent on whoever's actions. The fear of you losing something because you're so attached drives every single one of your decisions. It controls you. You make all your decisions based off of the fear of losing something. Your relationship, your job, your status, etc. You become highly reactive. Instead of responding with clarity, you react impulsively because you're trying to protect your attachments. You create a lot of unrealistic expectations. You're gonna face chronic disappointment because very rarely things go as planned or expected. You have a bunch of relationship conflicts, bunch of issues within the relationship. You're putting a lot of pressure on your partner to meet your emotional needs, which causes the inability to really connect. You want to be able to control every single outcome. When you're so stuck on controlling everything, you have no space to grow. Absolutely none. In order to really grow, you need change. You need failures. You need things to happen to you. You need to build that adversity. When you're attached, you try to control everything where no growth is possible. That leads me into, because you want to control everything, you're stagnant. You resist the change because the attachment keeps you in your comfort zone. Because you're in your comfort zone, you avoid taking risks that could actually lead to your personal development. You're unfathomably scared of the unknown. So you carrying these dynamics will make you lose your adaptability. Life can happen for you in so many different directions, from so many different directions. And when you are stuck, attached to a certain thing, you are closed off to everything. Being incredibly attached increases your codependency within relationships. Your sense of self is tied to the other person's validation. That's disgusting. That's absolutely embarrassing. How are you going to give somebody else the power to give you your sense of self-worth? What? Do not ever give anybody the power to tell you how much you're worth, to tell you how valuable you are. That all comes from within. Attachment leads to a lot of jealousy and control issues because you fear losing them so much that you try to control everything they do. You want to know where they're at. You want to know who they're talking to. You want to know everything, who they're working with. You're too jealous, man, because you're too attached. Also, your love is conditional. You only love them based off the condition that they meet your emotional needs. You're confusing love with possession and attachment. True love is about freedom. Attachment is about a prison, security, maximum security. When you're attached to certain things, you can't be present. You're disconnected. You're either fixated on the past or you're too anxious about the future. Neither of those two places exist. The only thing that exists is right here, right now, baby. People that are overly attached are extremely ego-driven. That means you attach your identity to external things. I am my job. I am my relationship. I am my success, or I am my failures. That could create a lot of fear and insecurity. True self-worth comes from just knowing who you are, knowing you are more than your achievements, your relationships, your status. Your true self-worth comes from beyond all of that. Now we'll talk about the law of detachment and how it could contribute to making your life so much more liberating and free and abundant. With the law of detachment, you just build emotional resilience. You got less stress, less anxiety, because you're not fixated on specific outcomes. You have no expectations. And when you don't have any expectations, everything that you receive is just a blessing. You're very open. You're a lot better at coping with failures, because failures will happen. And an attached person can't cope with a failure because they had these expectations. They were so attached to their expectations. The law of detachment will increase your confidence tenfold. You have that inner self-belief rather than any type of external validations. Your confidence comes from within and not from anybody else's approval or your achievements or anything like that. Your focus increases and your productivity goes through the roof. You prioritize the process. You love the journey. You just love the journey. You're enjoying the journey and you don't care about perfectionism. You don't care about the end goal. You're enjoying the present moment and every step that you're taking along the way. And while you're doing your task, you're not thinking about anything else but right now. You're not thinking about the end product. That puts you in a very, very clear state of mind. One of the best things about the law of detachment is that your relationships will go from here to way up there. It reduces your codependency. You respect your partner's individuality. You let them be who they are and you help cultivate them. All the while, you're maintaining your own individuality. Because if you guys are both losing yourselves within the relationship, that's gonna lead to a lot of resentment. And the law of detachment allows real, unconditional, deep bonding and connections with your partner. You're not trying to fix anything. You're not trying to fix anybody. You respect them for who they are. And you're allowed to be your authentic self, all the while they're allowed to be their authentic selves as well. And that's where true connection is formed. With the law of detachment, you also have the growth mindset. And what the growth mindset is that the openness to change. It allows you to adapt quickly and you look at change as an opportunity rather than a threat. And when you're not scared of change, you're more open to taking risks. You're willing to take more risks because you're not attached to any type of outcome. Some spiritual benefits include just inner peace and freedom. You feel liberated, you feel open, you feel like you're absorbing the world. You no longer have your ego controlling you. You're very present. And being present is really important because it grounds you. And being present is the foundation for mindfulness. You put a lot of trust in the universe and you realize life is happening for you and not to you. You put faith over fear and you completely let go of all that control. You don't need control, man. You just go with the flow. Let's say you're a doctor or a lawyer. You're not attaching that title to you. You are you. You're not defined by any external circumstances. With the law of detachment, you have a better connection. You have a better relationship with yourself. And that's where true confidence comes from. You experience a different type of contentment with yourself and you no longer have all these crazy desires and cravings. You're just grateful. You're grateful for where you are right now. You're grateful for everything you have. You're just at peace. And when you practice the law of detachment, everything is unconditional. You have no expectations. You give and give and give and don't expect anything in return. This creates a very compassionate person. How can we practice the law of detachment? I'm going to tell you about 5 ways that you can practice the law of detachment. First one being setting intentions and releasing outcomes. This means focus on your efforts, focus on the journey, focus on every step that you take. Don't worry about the results. Don't worry about the outcome. Just enjoy the journey. Practice your mindfulness. Stay calm, stay present, become the observer of your thoughts, let them pass. Do not attach yourself to anything. 3 would be meditation and reflection. Practice being still, focus on your breath, focus on the now. When you're walking from point A to point B, while you're walking, just think about every step that you take, think about the air you're breathing, think about the air resistance as you're walking by. Be extremely present. Those little practices help. Number 4 would be embracing uncertainty. Welcome the uncertainty. The unknown is beautiful. It's nothing to be scared of. Life is full of different dynamics. Welcome all of it with open arms. Inhale the change. Uncertainty is a huge part of everybody's life's journey. It's not something to scare. It's something to look for. And finally, affirmations for letting go. I trust the process. I trust the process of life. Life is happening for me and not to me. I release the need to control. Something like that. So we went over why attachment is no good and why we need to transition over to practicing the law of detachment. With attachment, this is a prison. With detachment, this is universe, the open universe. It gives you a sense of purpose, gives you a sense of passion, gives you a sense of peace without you being a slave to your outcomes. It teaches you that true power comes from letting go and not holding on. Hope this video contributed a little bit to your personal development. Let's practice the art of letting go. We'll catch you on the next one.